I told myself there are two materials I will never work with again. Colored pencils and salt. What am I doing? Pink Himalayan salt. Why am I drawn to all the horrible things? Now I've got 2 blocks of salt. So they've been ripped 4 inches wide, and I'm going to cut them 4 inches long. Okay, so here we go, our 4 pieces. 2 4-inch squares of salt and 2 4-inch squares of bloodwood. Both my least favorite materials in their respected mediums. So really, I should just hate this project. The holes need to be really large. One for transmitting the light through the salt, and the other just to make sure that nothing gets too hot in here. So all 3 of these are going to get hit with this giant 2 5/8 inch Forstner bit. All right, time for some salt. Now the last time I did this, the salt got crazy hot, almost too hot to touch. This is the top piece, which is drilled most of the way through. But what's really cool about it is when you drill through salt, it gets really hot and it creates these cool cracks in the salt that really add to the appearance. And then the bloodwood, and then something a little unexpected happened. I didn't realize it until I was all done, but it actually cracked in 4 places. So only one of these goes all the way through, but the rest of these are pretty deep cracks. So I'm just using a little resin and some rubber bands, and that should set up nicely. And if anything, the cracks on the outside will only add to that appearance. So, unexpected, but I mean, it makes sense when you think about it. All right, now this is the bottom piece of bloodwood, and all I need to do is drill a 1-inch hole. All I need to do is plug in my drill press. There we go. All right, and now we're just going to sand it. And I'm going to go up to, I think, like 220 grit. Now, bloodwood is like extremely dense. It's like the college frat boy of hardwoods, so it's going to take a while. So here's the piece that was repaired. I think overall it just kind of adds to the look of it. This was the one that went all the way through, and it actually does have some resin fill in it. So I like this piece. I'm not going to touch it. It's all ready to go. The top's got some marks on it. You don't really have to sand salt. All you have to do is get it wet. And those parts will come right off. It's got a couple of pencil marks here on the bottom. All right, so that's everything all cleaned up. All we have to do now is assemble this. All right, so I'm going to go with epoxy to join these 2 materials together. I know that it sticks well to both. And the nice thing about epoxy is I don't have to use clamps for it to set up well. And the working time on this epoxy is around 20 minutes. Now we just wait for the whole thing to cure. You lost and lonely, you. Yeah, I don't think it's there yet. And you can see now this is all cured. Stuck together. What we need to do now is we need to lift it up a little bit. And what I've purchased to do that are just some simple little feet. Just little rubber feet with a spike on one side. I think it'll give it the most lift for the least amount of effort. Three 3/64 inch hole, which is almost perfect. It's just a little tight. This light is actually the kind that you buy for Christmas villages. It fits in a 1-inch hole and it just snaps into place. And that's, I mean, that's all there is to it. Let's see what it looks like. I mean, it looks like a light. It's got a cord coming out the back, and I think that's completely acceptable for all lights I've ever seen. To protect the wood, I'm adding a little bit of wipe-on polyurethane. Oh, I think that looks really nice. Once that's dry, I'll probably add at least one more coat. So I'd like to thank Audible.com for coming alongside Shoptime and supporting the show. They actually reached out to me and asked if they could sponsor a video and offer my viewers a 30-day free trial of the Audible service simply by going to www.audible.com/Peter Brown. Now, I just finished listening to a book called The Long Dark Tea Time of the Soul by Douglas Adams. This book is actually about a holistic detective named Dirk Gently. In this book, he's fighting over the contents of his refrigerator. He's got a client that apparently got himself murdered by a demon. There's a run-in with a few Norse gods, an explosion at a Heathrow check-in desk. Now, if that book doesn't interest you, don't worry. Audible has over 250,000 titles to choose from. Simply go to audible.com/Peter Brown and sign up for free, and you can download a free audiobook that you get to keep regardless of whether or not you decide to continue on with the service. I again want to thank Audible for supporting this episode and to continue supporting free content on YouTube. Here we go. This is my salt lamp. I think it came out pretty well. I think this is my 4th salt project. So let's see, I've done the bracelet, I did the glass, the margarita glass, and then I turned a bottle stopper on my other channel. But it's the first time I've not turned it on the lathe. I like it. I think it came out really well. And apparently, in addition to just looking really cool, there are also some health benefits to salt. That was not my primary motivation, but I've heard that. I hope you enjoyed this project. I certainly did. And if you do like it, please share this video. That actually helps me out a lot. Other than that, I think I'm good. Thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe.